back to the F Word, and today we have Sam Oatey from Oatey Media.
Hello. How are we?
Good, thank you. And your F word is film. No
Yes.
big surprises there.
Yes, we like film.
And for you, you're sat on the other side of the proverbial desk today. How does that feel?
It's a bit odd.
Is it?
Don't really like being in front of the camera, but I like chatting, so that's all right.
Exactly. That's what we thought when we asked you to be involved. And this isn't the first time that you've worked with us as well. And I thought maybe we could open it up with a story of when you came and did some filming for us about 5 or 6 years ago, I think it was. And we spent all day, didn't we? All day filming. And then you had to come back and do it all.
Yeah, because you didn't like your clothes. So we had to reshoot it. But that was when Make and Tax Digital was the first, like when it first came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, so a long time ago.
But here we are now, everyone
doing it
digitally.
So I promise we won't make you redo this today, and I'll stick to script. So can you tell us a little bit around Oatey Media, when you started, what it is you do?
Yeah. So Oatey Media is a film production company. We're based in Cornwall, but we work across the whole nation and also a little bit internationally now as well. Primarily, we work in just producing high-end films, but we also do some photography stuff as well. It all sort of started back in 2011 when I was a little kid. All my family work in the farming sectors, big commercial farms and businesses, and I kind of liked the idea of making something for myself. When I was like up until the age of 12, I just really wanted to be a farmer. And then I got to secondary school and realized that was a really silly idea. Farming, as good as it is and as essential as it is, wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered the world of film and knew instantly that I could probably do something with it. I think it was the drive and I guess being brought up in a family world and a family environment within a farming world, you're taught to constantly strive to be working all the time and to build something. And I guess it's that constant wheel of work, and that basically gave me the drive and determination to do something for myself. And I saw the opportunity to be able to, there was a market to be able to produce really high-end film content for clients, not just in Cornwall, but everywhere. And I knew that there was something I could do with that. And that's kind of where it all sort of started from.
So you didn't work for anyone else first. This is you and a camera starting from scratch.
Yeah, literally, I've never been employed, ever. And I think I am unemployable. Don't think anyone would be able to work with me.
You probably are now after that long, and having never had a job.
Never had an employed job, and it's got to this point, I guess, through there's highs and lows of every business. Business is hard, and in Cornwall as well. It's a very different market in Cornwall, but also that comes with great possibilities and endless options and opportunities. So, yeah, it's been a journey. What we're now 2024, and it started back in 2011 when I was a little tacker with a little camera, and here we are.
And how did you get your first client? So you knew that film was something that you were interested in and you wanted to then turn that into a living. What was the first job you did?
Like every business starts off friends and family. Mm-hmm. It's a go-to, isn't it? You know, somebody that you can make something for, whether it was for free, paid for, whatever, just to be able to like start learning. And that was what every creative does that to start with. They will start making content just to be able to like get the flow of it, understand what looks good, what doesn't look good. And it was basically, I've done that for however many years now. I've kind of just been working it out as I go along. And I've now built up a network of really, really cool people that work with me as well. And we're now making stuff that I would never have imagined we would have made.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk to you about some of those as well today, because some of your films have gone kind of viral effectively because of the amount of views. One in particular is the Man Down campaign that you did. Was it last year or earlier this year?
Yeah, last year. So, the Man Down project that we did, we shot at the end of 2023 that got released this year in 2024. And that was actually a concept that we went to Man Down with.
Oh, okay.
We don't normally do that.
Yeah.
Clients usually come to us with ideas and stuff. And we knew that we've done stuff with Man Down years ago when they started.
Yeah.
But I knew that there was something that we could do that would really drive some engagement to them and just to really make or build a huge amount of awareness for them.
And for anyone that doesn't know what Man Down do, can you give us a little bit of a
Man
background?
Down are a mental health charity for men, but actually now they're like all across the UK and stuff, which is awesome to see. They're growing like incredibly well, and they're there to basically support men with poor mental health or just needs someone to speak to in a non-judgmental and confidential way.
Great.
So we basically wanted to do something, or came up with this concept of like what we could actually do and the storyline and stuff. And Ross at Man Down was like, yeah, this is an awesome idea. We love this. So me and Ben co-produced it. Ben is from a production company called Salt and Gorse.
Mm-hmm.
We co-produced the project together, and yeah, somehow it did 6 million views in a week. And yeah, it's just resonated really, really well with people. And I think that to see a piece of content that we've made do that is incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, as well as the actual message behind it as well. So it's not just an advertisement.
There's so much. It's so much deeper than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of content we produce is obviously for businesses and brands and corporate companies or commercial companies, and there's always a very different angle. It's trying to do something, but from a business point of view. Whereas for Man Down, we were producing something purely to raise awareness, and that was really nice.
Yeah, because there's no call to action as such, other than people knowing where they can find them if they want to.
All we wanted people to do was to watch the film.
Yeah.
That was it. And then from that, people know what to do and where to go.
Amazing. And are there any other sort of standout projects for you that you've worked on? Anything else that you've just really enjoyed because of the people or the kind of media?
We've worked probably in the last 5 years. We've been producing projects and working on projects that I thought would never ever happen. Like 5 years ago, if you said, "Oh, you'll be doing this in 5 years' time," I would have like laughed. Would have never have believed that would have happened. But you've got to know what you're doing, obviously. But the saying that it's who you know, not what you know, is sometimes a little bit relevant. We've met people and we've been introduced to people, and the business has grown, and it's allowed us to work on really cool projects that I never thought would happen. We've just actually finished shooting a big campaign film for Cornwall Hospice Care. Once again, a film that we want to basically raise awareness for them, similar to Man Down. And once again, me and Ben have worked on that together with a huge crew, probably one of the biggest crewed projects we've ever worked on. And it's basically allowed us to produce a piece and a film that is incredibly emotional. Hopefully will make people cry. But we wanted to really like showcase what the staff and the nurses and everyone at Cornwall Hospice Care, what they actually do day to day, that people probably understand slightly what happens there, but I don't think they know the full ins and outs and like the emotional side of it. So we wanted to create something that would, try and make a difference.
Brilliant. And what have been some of the biggest challenges going back to you as a business owner in Cornwall that you've kind of come across along your journey?
I think challenges when you're starting a company, but also running a company, is at the very beginning, you don't actually have an absolute clue what you're doing. I don't think anyone does.
Nope.
It's really useful to have people around you that run businesses. And I was brought up with that with my family, but still when you're actually in there working out yourself, it's like, you've just got to go with it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've just got to run with it. And I still remember my uncle took me to a meeting with his accountants once when I just first started. I did 1 year of it and I made like 20 grand or something in my first year. And I remember sitting down and he looked at it. He was like, "God, you're actually making good money." I was like, yeah, well, we're trying to do something here. We're trying to do something. I think it was the drive, seeing what I could do and how the business was very slowly growing at that point kind of gave me the drive to like want to go harder with it. Challenges wise, I think first of all, it's like building up your client base and bringing in the leads and the projects into the company. But that very much has over time, all of our work's organic. We don't do any advertising to bring in clients at all. So we've been very, very lucky that that's how our income has come in and how the jobs come in. Challenges wise, I think it's probably just trying not to feel like an imposter. I don't know if anyone else has said that at all, but you always get a feeling when you're working on projects, oh, could somebody else do this better than us? Or could we have done this in a better way that we haven't thought about? And there's this constant like wheel in your head of thinking, oh, am I an imposter or not? And that imposter syndrome thing. But I think that's probably, you've just got to learn how to best cope. Also, the worst challenge I think I've had to overcome is work-life balance.
Yeah.
Because it's brutal.
Have you found the right balance?
No,
No.
I still haven't. I'm getting better, but work-life balance is really important. But when you're running your own company and you love what you do, it sometimes is really hard to switch off.
Yeah. But if you enjoy it, then I don't think it's as bad. I think if you were sat working all hours and hating
Yeah.
that, then that's not a good
No.
work-life
No,
balance.
exactly.
But if you're actually enjoying what you do.
Yeah, I think you've just got to have that balance of like making sure you don't overdo it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, life's
It's been
good.
a walk in the park.
Yeah. Easy.
And if you were going to give some advice to somebody that's starting a business, what would that be if someone was looking to?
Advice if you're wanting to start a business, I think it's get yourself out there, isn't it? It's meet lots of people. I think you can't do anything on your own. You need to have like a network of people, and that's so important to be able to be successful.
Yeah.
So definitely put yourself out there, meet lots of people, but also just, it depends obviously what business you're going into, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But like for our case, it was just practice, making, just keep making stuff, even if it's rubbish to start with.
Do you look back at your first videos?
Oh God, no, I try not to. You look back at some of the stuff we've made and you're like, God, what was I doing? But you do need to look back, because even if I look back 5 years, you can see such a huge difference in like the last 5 years of where we've progressed.
Yeah.
And that's actually really nice to look back and see.
And do you think that's a change not only in your experience and your knowledge, but also within your industry?
Yeah, I think to me, as a company, we've progressed and we've improved, and now we're producing stuff that's really like it's got to that point where we're like, yeah, I'm really proud of that, and that is awesome. But I think the industry's changed a huge amount as well. Obviously, video got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and everyone realized, okay, yeah, we need to do video.
Yeah.
But now we're in the world of TikTok, Instagram Reels, and there's now a mixture between shooting content yourself on your phone, because that engagement wise does really well. But then there's also the other side of it where actually high end shot, nice content is also has its place. So we're working with clients now and supporting them in using both sorts of media. So when stuff that they're shooting themselves, and how they can best integrate that into their marketing strategies, but also then us producing high-end shot content that can also work in different ways. So the market's changed hugely, but we go with it.
With it.
We evolve with it. We evolve with it.
I know. And you think, sort of going back to when you started, and when we started Yfield in 2014, we would have never realized how important social media and video content and engagement, and even things like this 10 years on, actually being able to share good quality information with people in an accessible way, actually how much that's going to be imperative to growth of your business.
It is, yeah. And that's the stuff that we've done over the last few years that you think, oh, what, we would never have thought that we would be making this sort of content. Yet we are. And whether that's training content, or I think campaigns have always been a big thing, haven't they?
Yeah.
But the way campaigns are produced now is completely different to how it was done then. I saw a thing the other day on social media about M&S and how their new TV marketing is basically TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
And like how they're now investing a huge amount of money into TikTok and Instagram, and like that says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. And do you think that will just continue to get bigger and bigger? Yeah.
100%. I think people, fast content on devices now, quick, like TikTok, Instagram Reels, it's quick content, isn't it? You can just flick through, like people don't have the attention span. And that obviously is really important because that works really well. But also there's a place for longer form campaign films such as Man Down and Cornwall Hospice Care, for example, that they're 3-minute films, but they're so much more engaging than a quick 15-second video on TikTok.
And shows integrity of the brand and sort of a bit of a deeper
You can't tell a story. You can't tell a story in 15 seconds.
No.
But you can in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we have been recently moving onto TikTok. Apparently, I don't have it, so I don't.
You need to have it, honestly.
Oh God,
horrendous.
I don't need any other time
But
wasters.
addiction with TikTok is a thing.
I don't think that, that's not going to be. But Maddie, who's our marketing apprentice, has been working alongside Megan and doing TikTok, and they're always roping the team into doing something strange that apparently is a trend or whatever people are watching, whatever the kids are doing.
Yeah.
And we had one where they were opening sweets into
the box. What you bring to the office.
Yeah. And it's had like 220,000 views.
What sweet did you bring?
I wasn't here, so I don't feature. But Cody, one of our accountants, who's actually Maddie's twin sister, put mint imperials in.
Oh yeah, that's a drive-in sweet.
I don't know.
That's a drive-in sweet.
The comments have gone savage.
It's a little bit controversial, that isn't it?
There's been calls for her P45.
Really? That bad?
Yeah.
Do you like a mint imperial though?
Do you? Well, Cody might have some for you. But yeah, so we seeing, and we think that's the most strange concept. We're a firm of accountants.
It's nothing to do with it.
No.
At all.
And it might not necessarily be our target market as such, but it just gets our name out there, and then hopefully someone joins the dots somewhere along the line. I think
from like your guys' point of view, I don't think you see I personally haven't seen any other accountancy firm that are used in social media the same way that you guys are.
Hopefully that's a good thing.
In a good way. In a good way.
I needed you to just carry on there.
Just so you all know, they do good marketing here. I think using social media, if you're not using social media in the right way, then you're doing something really wrong. Mm-hmm. But you guys are doing it right. Oh, yeah. Well, I can't take any credit for that. Megan's doing it right. Yeah, exactly. She's sat sort of sniggering in the background here listening. Head getting bigger and bigger. And that it's really accessible then. All businesses can access film then, can't they, as a method of getting their brand out there. So if they're not ready to do a massive campaign, or they're not ready to do something like we're doing here with the guys at Oatey Media for our podcasts, that actually they can do some of that themselves. Yeah, of course you can. There's you don't have to, if your business or brand isn't in a time where you have like loads of budget to be able to throw at producing campaign content or bigger films and stuff. There's either stuff that you can do yourself, or we can still work together on, but you just change the scope of the project. Mm-hmm. So it is accessible. 100%. And if you could go back to when you very first started, is there anything you would do differently? That's a question, isn't it? No, I thought I'd put a good one in there to wrap it up. I think if I had to do anything differently, I would learn to let go a little bit more, or sooner. Let go sooner. Okay. But also trust in others. I think that's really hard as a business owner, to trust in other people enough to let them just do something. Mm-hmm. But I've discovered over probably the last year actually that some people are actually better at stuff that I can't do as well. And that's fine. Yeah. But you end up making a way better piece of work, utilising lots of different talents than just trying to do it all on your own. Yeah, and focusing on the bits you enjoy as well. Exactly, the stuff that you enjoy, but also that you know that you're good at. Everyone knows what they're good at. And it's taken quite a while to work that one out. I think it's when you're a business owner, you kind of want to hold control, and you don't want to let anything go. And you feel that if you let something go, then it's not going to be as good, or it's going to slip up, or something's not going to work out. But actually, if you do let go and you let other people help you, basically, you probably will end up with a better result. And it's a nice feeling as well when you actually do let go. You think, I didn't realize how much I hated doing that bit. And I think running a business and a company is stressful. Like there's no, it's just the way it is, isn't it? It's stressful running a business, but there's positives to that. Yeah. And if you're the sort of person that's driven by that kind of pressure, as we spoke about earlier, about wanting by pressure, by pressure. Every business owner ever, driven by pressure. Well, thank you so much for coming in and speaking to us today around film and how important it is in brands moving forward. And hopefully everyone can have a little idea around how they can integrate that into their brand moving forward. And we'll make sure we tag you on all the socials. So if anyone wants to find out more about Oatey Media or the campaigns that you've been working on, have a little look and see some of those viral videos, then they'll be able to find you. Cracking. So thank you so much for joining us on the F Word.